Hi, Dick Rauscher here. Today we're going to be talking about Stony Hill Nugget number 276, which is entitled The Path to Ignorance Requires Certainty, Rigid Ideological Beliefs, and the Need to be Right. This was kind of a fun article to write. Pretty important one, I think, especially given what's going on in Washington and with all the gridlock and changes that are happening in Washington. So I decided we needed to take a look at this and see if we can figure out what's going on. I read a quote recently on Facebook which kind of caught my sense of humor. And it was a picture of a woman. She said that she found herself finishing a lot of her statements with the words, just saying, just saying. And the reason she said that she does that is because to use the words ignorant dumbass would be considered offensive. So I decided this is going to be my just saying article. Basically, what we're talking about in this article is that the path to ignorance, okay, or DA, okay, just saying, is certainty, inflexible beliefs, and the need to be right. The moment we adopt or embrace those three concepts in our thinking process, then we are definitely on our path to ignorance. There is no way to escape it, and we'll take a look at why. Okay? As I said in the beginning here, politicians in Washington are manifesting ignorance, certainty, inflexible beliefs, and the absolute need to be right all the time. No compromise, okay? Just saying. So, let's take a look at what the difference between a closed mind and an open mind, I think, is probably the easiest way to explore this concept. A closed mind, or certainty, the idea that they are always right and that their beliefs are absolutely inflexible and represent absolute truth, okay? It shuts down a person's ability to think. As soon as they get that rigid mindset, then they can't think anymore. They can't listen to other concepts or ideas. They can't explore their own beliefs. They can't learn, in other words, and they can't develop any wisdom. But more importantly, I think, it shuts down their ability for humility, okay? Once you have that absolute truth and you know that you are right and you're absolutely certain of it, then your ability to be humble is gone, okay? The only thing that's left is arrogance, and kind of a narcissistic arrogance at that. You can't compromise. You can't manifest compassion, especially when someone challenges. For this closed mind person, when someone else has the audacity to disagree with them or to assume that they're not correct, what'll happen is you'll get their anger and their aggression almost immediately. Now, they may smile when they're doing it, but you know that you're being put in your place, that they do have absolute truth and that you're wrong, okay? And if you push it, you will get their anger and it'll come out a little more aggressively. So an open mind, the way I define it in this article is that it is the ability for increased self-awareness. In other words, an open mind can look at itself and say, why am I thinking this way? What am I basing it on? Okay? In other words, they can do some deep intuitive listening. They can look inward. Okay? The closed mind can't do that. Closed mind already has the absolute truth, so why bother looking inward? They couldn't possibly be wrong, right? So the open mind is capable of increasing in wisdom. They can question their belief systems, their ideas, their opinions, their certainties, their expectations, everything's up for grab. It can all be explored through introspection, okay, and through dialogue with other people. This brings us to the next concept in the article, and that is the whole idea of middle path. And middle path, for any of you who've been following my work for any length of time, you know that that means that there's always truth on both sides of every issue, okay? Some people today in the modern world call this polarity theory. I like middle path because it kind of captures the idea that you've got to be able to look on both sides of an issue because there's wisdom on both sides. How do we know? Because of the 100% rule. And the 100% rule says that nobody is smart enough to be wrong all the time. All right? And conversely, nobody is smart enough to be right all of the time. So when you follow the 100% rule, it leaves you in middle path territory where you have to, if you really want to be wise and you really want to grow and learn, then you've got to be able to look for the wisdom on both sides of every issue. It's always there. You just have to look for it. An open mind does that. A closed mind doesn't. And that leads us in terms of a closed mind, in terms of education. Education for a closed mind is the enemy. Why? Because education is liable to start challenging their belief systems. The moment that happens, education becomes the enemy. Just saying, okay? Our nation today, basically, we've got too many certainties in Washington, okay? Certainties are abounding all over the place in Washington. Everybody has an opinion, and it's certainty, inflexible belief, and the need to be right. Just saying. So we have a lot of politicians who are promoting too many ideologies. They have their opinion on what's right and what should be, and they are manifesting closed minds. Okay? Just saying. So, the level of ignorance in our nation today is growing at a very scary level. Okay? We are literally becoming a polarized and somewhat ignorant nation. We're not open to dialogue and compromise. And I mean, right now, today, we just did the nuclear option in Washington. Just saying. Okay, I end this article kind of with this philosophy, and it's one that I've been playing with quite a bit lately, and that is the concept that the future isn't what it used to be. And what we're doing, I think, in our path to ignorance is we're denying change, we're avoiding change, we're resisting change. But change is reality. Change is the universe in operation, okay? So if we're going to become an open-minded nation and a little bit wiser nation, then we have to begin to work together to cope with the changes that are coming. What changes? I don't know. But some of them can be pretty serious if you look at the state of the world today. Change is coming, and our certainty and flexible beliefs and need to be right are shutting down our ability to find the paths forward, to work together for compromise, work together to find that creative path forward that would put us on a different trajectory headed into the future. Right now, gridlock has got us kind of deadlocked where we are, and it seems to be getting worse. Just saying. At any rate, this was kind of a fun article to write, given the nature of Washington and what's going on right now in our world. I hope you find it helpful. There's a lot of material in here to really think about, and I really encourage my readers to sit and really think about some of these ideas and then bring them into your own life. In other words, embrace them and make them part of who you are. If enough of us did that, I think we could begin to challenge some of this rigid ideological thinking that's got us so gridlocked. Okay, have a good week. We'll see you down the road.